I find the new
Also, the volume has slowed since the CDK issue slightly a little bit because we're having to slow down to speed up. I guess would be the right terminology there. But yeah, I guess if anything's going to come out of it, we're looking deeper into ourselves and becoming stronger, more unified, and relearning how to sell cars again, which has been fun. And getting to teach the younger generation some old tricks has been very unique and exciting.
I've got a question for the operators there in the room, especially those that are on CDK with the announcement yesterday that they're not going to be up and running for closeout. What's your backup plan for closing out the books?
There is no
That's currently left up to people above my pay grade. So
there is no backup plan because there's nothing you can do. You are 100% when it comes to shutting down a month. Uh, you are 100% at the mercy of this coming back up because you are dependent upon it 100%. What you can do is have a plan, and we have a detailed written plan for every department for when it does come up. Just the data input and the open and closing of ROs, along with everything else, is going to be imperative to getting things done properly. Having the right logs and the workarounds brought back home to CDK is going to be imperative. The real challenge is going to be uh, with CDK, you can't backdate an RO. So we're going to have July issues from June, which we have to work with our manufacturers on. But this is just, I will tell you, and we use CDK for a DMS, we use them for CRM, and because we have eLeads and we have eLead Scheduler for service. Uh, so it is a challenge. But what it has done is brought leadership out, people together, hyper focused on every customer, and hyper focused on the process, which will make our lives easier once it comes back up. So we'll close the month when we close the month, and we'll get things done when it happens. But I'll leave it with this: if you concentrate and control the controllables, at the end of the year, the uncontrollables and the right hand ledger, which is going to be your deduct, is going to be a whole lot less than what you would have lost if you had not controlled the controllables and not worried about these. So stay anal about all the little stuff that you can control. And when these disasters happen, just act like you've been in the end zone before and provide the leadership, and it'll all work out. And you'll be surprised. I think what it did for me was it woke me up to what my people can do instead of what they limit themselves to in their comfort zone.
Kevin, I got a quick
hey
question for
Uncle.
you. Like when you have to back up your deals, obviously you're doing deals still, just like we are. And when accounting's got to go back into CDK, how are you planning on blocking off X amount of deals in CDK? Is that possible to do? That way you're not, because you're still going to sell cars while you're backdating or backlogging everything, that you're not screwing up the deal count or the deal numbers, so to say.
You can't. You can't. But what you can do is sort of like at every RO that we open and close once CDK comes back up. Uh, the first opcode that we have created is that it was a CDK ransomware attack time. So anytime in an audit from the state or from my manufacturer, that the very first opcode says CDK hack. So we now know that it can be out of order and out of time, and the punches do not have to be accurate.
Gotcha.
You can do the same thing when you're billing out a deal. When you go to your recap, and if you're CDK, you know You go to R, you put in the deal number, then you go to gross, and then you go to G, and then you go to R for recap. When you're recapping, the first note should be CDk hack deal delivery date, contract and delivery date, this date. Now you've made a permanent record, and the timeline matches everything you have.
Where are you putting that? Are you putting that in the WIO screen
In
or
the
is that
WIO
on?
screen,
Okay,
yes.
got it.
WIO
Okay,
screen,
great.
very,
That's a
very first
phenomenal
thing,
phenomenal idea.
very first thing in the WIO screen will be that. That way, there's never any doubt about what happened, and you're going to be covered legally.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you,
That's
Kevin.
that's brilliant. Yeah,
So,
and great, especially on the ROs too.
so also for like your checks, do yourselves a favor because my guys, I was out of town and they didn't deposit any checks till, and they're like, "What do we do?" And I said, "You make a copy of the check and you keep a log. And not only do you make a copy of the check, you put a copy of the buyer's order with the check or the RO. That way, 4 years from now, if you're in a lawsuit, there's a copy of it because because your receipting of the check doesn't match the deal date. You have a copy that it was taken on that day with this buyer's order that you produced with this, and it's all documented to go back during the hack. And this was the only record that we could make sure because remember that if the receipt date of the funds don't match the contract date, you have not executed a contract in a court of law.
Hey, Uncle Kevin, you might have covered it. How's Toyota RDRing? How are you guys RDRing now?
Same way. There's no challenges whatsoever. Every,
Yeah, same
the only
same here.
the only thing we cannot do is a CPO. We cannot RDR a CPO.
Another question. I asked the local auction that we use about payoffs and titles. If I'm sending a car to the auction, if I can't produce that title within 30 days, which is typically what our agreement is, what are going to be the ramifications, or are they announcing it? And the auction had no answer for me.
Well, I have a question, and it's a valid question. First of all, some auctions are 20 days. Why wouldn't you be able to pay off a car, get a title in the same time frame? What's stopping you?
Well, right now with CDK, they can't issue it. They're not. They're on. We are currently unable to issue any payoff checks or
Buy a
process any
type
payments.
buy a typewriter.
Yes, sir.
I did. I bought a typewriter. I'm paying off cars. I'm getting my titles, and through Route One or uh, dealer, you can get your you can see when deals are funded. So we do a CIT meeting daily, and we're doing our CITs through Route One. So it's we have two stacks of deals. We have all the deals piled up in the accounting office we've done. It's business as normal. And we have the deals that have been funded and the deals that have not been funded. The deals that have not been funded, we sit down with Route One and we go through them every morning. You're just having to. We're doing what we had to do 20 years ago.
Agreed. I think I don't know with Butler or whatnot. Obviously, I'm a Group One store, so everything is handled
Yeah.
out of Houston and everything is
Right.
sent from
Well,
Houston. And they give our accounting department
I I
no
get it.
ability to do any of
I
that.
get it. You're a public company, and
Yeah,
it's not a matter of Butler. Is we all operate independently, but we use information from each other. I, s- I said go buy a typewriter, and we're typing checks.
that's awesome. Good for you, man.
But I'll tell you what I am doing. A lot of the vendors will take my credit cards right now. I'm getting the shit out of points.
Well done.
Same.
David's got how many stores, David Long, and how are you operating?
We have 8. We're doing about the same as what you're talking about. Not a lot of differences. We have ambassadors of happiness walking around. We're doing dice rolls while CDK is down. I'm trying to keep everybody up. So we're just doing a lot of fun stuff, just keeping it fun, like I should have been doing all the time anyway. But everything you said is what we're doing.
Is everybody contracting in Route One?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. It takes longer to do a deal because you have to put everything together and hand type everything, and every form is separate. But the truth of the matter is, it's actually I'm finding less problems and much more thorough. The attention
Yeah,
to
we are
detail
too.
and the attention with every customer is phenomenal compared to where it was. At the end of the day, when we're done negotiating with CDK, when we're done with everything, I bet you this is a positive.
There's no doubt. Our biggest challenge and one of our main focuses is on payroll, right? Making sure. So I'm doing a 5 month average, and I'm gonna true up if I miss, and anybody that I overpay gets to keep it. And we're just making sure people know we're going to take care of them, so they can stay focused on the main thing.
Are you on CDK Pay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm on Paylocity. That's the one savior that we have. We're on
Oh, no,
Paylocity.
no, no. Hold
But
on. I'm so sorry. Everything that we pay comes from CDK's information. And how do you know
right,
how to
right,
pay a tech? How to know how to pay anybody?
right. Well, that's what we're doing. We're doing average. We're
Are you
doing
doing three
average,
months or
and
5 months, or what kind of average?
we're doing this year, six,
Yeah.
5 full
So it'd
months.
be, yeah, 5 full months. Us too. And then we're
Yeah,
just looking for outliers, and we're
that's
finding
it.
out if anybody was on a leave of absence. We're finding out if anybody was on extended vacation, and we're truing that up, and then we're going to pay people on the average.
Yeah, and then sales is not a problem. We do that separately anyway. Sales is as fluid as it ever is because I do sales pay sheets every day myself.
I think the main thing right now for the CDK dealer is in the absence of information, people make up stories. All stories that are made up are not positive. You don't hear people walking around, oh, they're going to take care of us. This is the greatest place on earth. I know some people believe that foundationally, but if we're not communicating what's going on and what they can expect and what we know, and people start to really get fearful, and then that fear in the absence of information creates distraction, and that distraction prevents us from doing our best work, and then customers suffer and the whole bit. So I'm just trying to keep people communicated with, keep reassuring people they're going to be paid properly, probably even a little more than they would have earned, and just keep your head down doing the job. All right, new topic.